just give a quick recap on what.
Okay. The recap is. Dawah is to invite people to Islam, and we should do it with empathy, with good character, and we should stick to what we know overall. And Dawah is emulating the prophets and messengers because there are no prophets and messengers to come. We talked about the linguistics of what Dawah is. We looked at the Quranic discourse, for example, Surah An-Nahl, chapter 16, verse 1 to 25, that tells you, it says, "Ad'u ila sabila rabbika bil hikma wal maw'izati al-hasana." So it says to guide people or invite people to Islam via wisdom and beautiful preaching. So it targets both the aql and the qalb. And thus our dawah should be holistic. It should be well-rounded in the sense that we call people by both means and not just focus on one or the other, right? So we need to have a balance of rationality, and also the compassion and empathy. That's been kind of the overall. We had also some very interesting discussions talking about some of the contentions and some of the contemporary issues that exist today. We also talked about Tawheed, so the categories of Tawheed, Rububiyyah, Ibadah, Asma' wa Sifat, and how a Muslim is in line and consistent with the monotheistic teachings of Islam, whereas the non-Muslim worldview carriers, they encompass a different worldview, whereas it's like shirk and rububiyyah, shirk and ibadah, shirk and asma' wa sifat. So we talked about atheism, some level, Christianity, and how they fall into shirk in these categories. That's kind of like the overall. Okay, I think we can start inshallah, and they'll make their way in. So, we last left off, Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala, just to start off with blessings, bi'idhnillah. We last left off where we were discussing the contemporary issues that exist today, the common questions, the heated questions that arise in our community, whether it be our American community, the community in England, or even on an international scale. So even on an international scale, the type of questions, the mind-boggling questions, the difficult questions, where Muslims, their forefront, they come and have discussions with their non-Muslim acquaintances and friends, and then boom, they stop, or they're at a halt, or there's just some kind of like blockage there, and they don't know how to proceed, or they get stuck, they don't know what to say next. They get anxious, and it just like basically takes away from their confidence and their empowerment. So these are the type of questions that we were targeting. And just let's name a few so that those who just attended have an idea where we're going. So there's a lot. Each of you are supposed to have like 2 questions, right? So let's get some new hands up, inshallah. 2 of the most difficult questions that you've ever encountered like in the Muslim world or whatnot. Did you?
I had only one.
Okay, so you had only one. Go ahead.
Aisha's age.
You mentioned Aisha. Okay.
But it's related to thinking. Islam is violent.
Yeah, so kind of, yeah, it is kind of related. This is more so maybe women rights, but yeah, it could be related to extremism and whatnot.
Religion is just an easy way of getting out of any situation.
Okay, so religion is the easy way out, right?
Yeah.
They'll come to you and say, why do you take religion as like your compensation, your way out of everything?
That's just an easy answer.
Yeah, it's just like an easy answer to everything. Like in science, they call it the God of the gaps. Like you're just trying to fill God into places that you're uncertain. Yeah, it's a very good one. Did you have your hand raised?
No.
Okay, so it's just like a few more difficult questions based on what you guys brainstormed. Yes.
Why should I believe in any religion?
Yeah, why should you believe in any other religion? Some other ones?
Like God existence.
Yeah, so about God's existence, how do you know God exists? What about like misconception type ones? Yeah, well.
Questions about slavery in Islam, especially with relation to women.
Right, so like, why is there slavery in Islam? Women rights.
Religion is the cause of most of the world's problems.
Yeah, so religion causes all these problems,
yeah.
like, yeah, you guys are so violent, look at what you do, your religious upbringings.
But general religion, not only Islam,
Yeah.
but all religions, right?
But if they're speaking to a Muslim, then they'll target Islam. Yeah, because some atheists hold a view that all religions are bad. That's what Richard Dawkins and many atheist, leaders, that's the position they hold. Okay, so these are the questions, right? These are the questions. And there's a whole lot more, but those are some. And before we proceed, I just want you all to know that in Islam, alhamdulillah, we have great answers for every single one of these questions and amazing refutations. And all of them have been refuted and dealt with, alhamdulillah. So, but what I want from you guys now is to tell me the answers. So, the way we're gonna do this is we'll have some volunteers come up, and we're gonna do some actual role-playing skits. Okay, so we're gonna act it out. Okay, inshallah. So who wants to be first? And I'm gonna pick the question. I'll be the non-Muslim. We'll try this maybe 2-3 times, and maybe have 2 of you come up here. We need the practice, and we'll see how it goes, inshallah. So who wants to go up first?
Are you gonna tell us the question beforehand?
No.
we-
Okay, so we'll have our young brother come up first. Mark, we can have you second, okay? Perfect. Okay, so I need a name.
He said third.
Okay, I need a non-Muslim name, please.
Jonathan.
John. I heard John from like 3 people.
John, Richard.
Okay, we'll go with John, maybe Richard next time. So I'll be John, and your name is, your real name? Isa. Okay. Hi, how are you? What's that? A salami bacon? What are you talking about?
That means peace be upon you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I meant assalamu alaikum or something. Yeah, the thing that you extremist people say. Okay. So let me ask you, do you mind if I just have a quick question. Is it alright if I ask you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I see your shirt. It says Muslim American. Do you consider yourself a true American?
I guess, yeah. I was born in the United States. And
Yeah, but don't you believe in like Sharia law?
yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with being American. I mean,
Why not? Sharia law is something you believe in, right?
you know?
So what does your Sharia law tell you to do? Doesn't it tell you to go and behead the unbelievers?
No.
No. How? I remember reading like a verse in the Quran. It was talking about taking the unbelievers and smiting their necks or something like that. So what is the problem with you guys? Like, are you serious? How can you follow a book like this? And you call yourself a Muslim American? That's an oxymoron. You cannot be a Muslim and American at the same time. Am I being too hard on him?
No.
You would walk away from the situation, right?
Probably call the police.
You would call the police, okay. All right, good. Jazakallah khair, thank you for your patience. You said harassment. All right, we need someone else. Mark, you want to give it a shot? We'll try a few runs. We'll try a few runs.
Omar wants to go.
We'll try a few runs. Bismillah.
I don't mind.
So Mark, you can stay Mark because you're a revert, right?
Yes.
And I'll be Richard this time.
Sure.
Okay, so hi Mark, how are you?
Hi Richard, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Ah, wonderful to
All
hear.
right.
So what can I do for you? Interested in Islam, or do you have
Well,
some questions?
I don't know if
or-
I'm interested in Islam, to be honest. I mean, I'm
Okay.
looking here, it looks like you have some, what are you giving out, some, are you recruiting for ISIS, or what's going on here?
No, absolutely. No, ISIS has nothing to do with us. They are nothing but
Well,
pure
what do you mean
terrorists
us?
and extremists.
Look, I'm Richard, you're Mark, you're supposed to be
Exactly.
like me.
We-
Why are you dressed like this?
So I dress like this because I like to keep myself modest. You know, needless to say, I don't exactly have the biggest biceps over here. You know, I have the keg 6-pack. You know no. You know, I try to be nice and modest. You know, for me, it's comfortable. It's a way of life. For me, I love God with a passion. God.
You mean you
is
like
my
killing
life.
for God?
Oh no.
Well then,
No,
let me,
in fact-
on a serious note, Mark.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you're an American, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm sincerely asking this question, why are you dressed like that? This is not how an American should dress. I mean, we know how we dress today. You know, you're supposed to dress like an actual American, and the way
Mhm.
you're wearing this is
Of
so
course.
intimidating. Like the way I see right now, I just see like, you know, a
Oh.
Caucasian ISIS person. You know, and we've had like people from America go over there to Syria and do
Yes,
these
yes.
crazy things and hurt our soldiers and all
I
that.
know, and
So
I feel, I myself, I spent many years over in Iraq with the military. So trust me,
You were
I
there.
know. I was there.
So you were there attacking my people.
I was, unfortunately, I was there with the Marines at the time, and I was blessed by God, the God of Abraham, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses. I was so blessed to be over there, because I went over there knowing nothing of Islam.
But you don't believe
Except-
in God, right? You believe in Allah.
Oh, you know, that's amazing thing that you go into that, Allah, right?
So
I
that's,
wanna-
that's like a moon god or
But
something,
I
right?
want to ask you something real quick.
Yeah,
What is God in English? What's the word for God in English?
God.
God. What is the word for God in Spanish?
Dios, right?
That's a totally different God. Dios is not God. Dios is somebody else,
Why?
right?
Why?
Is Dios. He's not God.
Yeah, but still, what I'm
So
saying
you're
is,
saying,
what I'm saying here is that you
but
believe
is
in,
Dios God?
yeah, Dios is God.
Why is
And-
Dios
and-
God?
and-
It's a totally different
Yeah,
word.
but Allah is a new
Ah.
God.
Oh,
right?
but you know what?
And I remember reading about like the pagans. They
So-
used to, you know what they used to do?
Oh, yeah.
They used to pray to the idols, calling them Allah. So
So-
what is going on with this?
So let me ask you this, right? Okay. So in Spanish, right? The word for God is Dios.
Okay,
Guess what it is in Arabic?
what is that?
Allah.
Yeah, but like I said, they're calling pagans
So-
Allah, right? I read about Islamic history in the past.
Okay.
You know, when Muhammad was,
Mhm.
was going around killing the unbelievers because they were worshiping idols.
Oh,
But-
no, no.
But it's just so, you see how it's so confused and like this is
Oh, I
ridiculous.
know. And
There's
you
just, and can you blame me? Look at what's
It's-
happening all around the world.
Oh, and this is horrible. And you know what? This is such the tragic part of today's society is in this day of information and technology, we have the internet, we have access to information that never was conceivable in the history of the world, where now anybody can put whatever they want on this internet. They can put out there, and it's a shame because there's so much politics, there's so much money into it. Now you see on the media, the news, everything, the headlines.
Yeah.
How often do you see all the positive, wonderful things that people are going out and doing in the world? How much do you see of the Catholic community going out doing their Catholic outreach? No, the headline news, they're focused on who's killing who's going to jail, what
Okay,
politician
that's all
is sleeping
great.
with who. But,
What you're saying is nice. I'm sorry to cut you off.
yes,
But I'm getting more provoked because you continue to
Yes.
say all these things, but then at the same time, we look at the facts. And what
Mhm.
we see Muslim men beating their wives,
Mhm.
shaving their heads, and just putting like this veil covering their face, oppressing them. This is stuff that we can actually see empirically with our eyes.
I know.
We see bombings happening all over the place in New York City. It's all
and
over.
it is a tragedy. I
Well,
mean,
this is the
look at
reality,
the
so
President
what-
of the United States, I mean, paying these women, paying them and doing these things and then denying them. You have to be careful the way that you look because everything that we look at in today's world is through a filter. And we only see the concepts that we want to see, and we tend to close out the things because we tend to be very narrow-minded.
Fine, I'll give you that.
Mhm.
But then, how can you justify or explain what it mentions in your Quran? It says, I remember in like one of the chapters, chapter 4, something like that, it says
Yes.
to beat your wife. So how can you justify that? If your
But-
own book says to beat your wife, there it is. It's in your book and it's in practice.
Ah, but
You have a problem, my friend. I think you should
Oh.
take that hat off.
Well, of course. But you know what? Look at the Holy Bible. If somebody looks at, pluck out their eye. If they steal, cut off their hands. If they cheat, stone them to
Yeah,
death.
well, they're wrong too, so you're both crazy.
But that's the Holy Bible.
Doesn't matter. I think they're
Doesn't
wrong
matter,
too.
but-
For me, I'm an atheist, so I don't care.
Oh,
I think
okay.
they're just as bad if they
Oh.
believe that, if that's really in their book.
Oh, you know what?
So then you still didn't solve your problem. In fact, you just
Mhm.
committed a fallacy called the tu quoque fallacy.
Oh.
It means like, oh, well, you can't claim that because some other
Mhm.
group claims it. How
But-
do you deal with this?
But you have to look at so much more. You have to look at it in the times that things were happening. We're looking at things through the eyes of today's modern society. But we also have to look at what was society like when we were there, back in that time. You had slavery that was rampant without any rules. A man could do whatever he wanted with his wife. A wife was nothing more than property. But no, Islam came and he said, women have rights. They have something.
Right. That's
They
why
have
that's why
certain
they can't
levels
drive.
above the
That's why
level
they
of a
can't
man.
get jobs. That's why they're always home doing nothing.
And you
right?
know, it is such a shame because
That's a lot of rights.
we are so blessed in the United States here. We have so many freedoms. You look around the world, how horrible it is. All these other countries, they have no rights. They can't say what they want to say. Look anywheres in the world, anywheres, you will see the corruption of money, the corruption of politics, how people become dictators, how they put these horrible laws into
How
place.
Muslims bomb places all over the place.
You know,
And kill.
look at
and call us
Russia.
infidels.
Look
Yeah.
at what has Russia done to the poor Ukraine people. They have annexed a whole nation.
Okay,
They have
let's pause
slaughtered.
He wants to go next.
All right, who wants to step up?
We volunteer.
Hold on.
Alhamdulillah, we have Sheikh Danny Khalil here. He's the
Alhamdulillah.
one that's giving dawah to Hispanics. So if anyone was interested in that and wanted to join that, by all means do.
Yeah. That's starting, that, yeah, 2 to 6, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fair,
Yeah,
fair.
so he's here. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So I'm gonna run one more, and then what I want to do is have 2 of you come up here, like without you just watching, okay? Let's just give some practice, and then I'll get into what we're doing, what's happening, and some other approaches, inshallah. So this is all just learning phase, guys, okay? And please, you know, let's be very mature about it. At the same time, it's great to joke, but ultimately, I hope you guys understand that I'm just playing devil's advocate because these are real situations that do occur in the dawah field. As Muslims, we have great answers for every single contention here, alhamdulillah. Our deen covers it. It's just a matter of us, are we able to articulate it, right? Are we able to deal with them? And how do we deal with them in a proper way? So who wants to go next? It's really hard to choose. You're not going, because I tried you last time. You just came in here, right? So let's try you. And then after that, we'll have 2 people come up. Okay. So I will be, I need a